I got a video to make.
Is that what you're calling this? Playing all that cyberpunk isn't gonna aid in getting friendship. I have something. A collab, maybe.
Don't.
Don't what?
Don't give me hope.
As someone who reads a lot of comments, it's very common for people to ask me to do challenges they've thought of to the best of my abilities. What isn't very common is someone requesting me to take a crack at a video they've already done. Can you beat Dark Souls 2 as Hawkeye? This is a collaboration between me and fellow content creator of the Can You Beat variety, Man Kakes. Cake fella. Man Cakes. Basically, he's asked me to take a video from his catalog and do it with my own signature burrito saucy sauce. And in return, he would do the same, taking on a challenge video of mine and adding his bakery sugar to the pot. So today we'll be tackling Hawkeye in Dark Souls 2, and his video will be but with no more stalling, and rules going to be given to you as they come up. We start with seeing the sadness of Hawkeye's totally accurate backstory, but with a modern Marvel writing of old women and dragons. Who tell Clint he's gonna die a lot. The old women, not the dragons. Remember a bad actor?
Amber Heard.
And the mean old ladies try to become nice old ladies, and lets me start the journey to make my Hawkeye. And with character creation for Larsburrito is a task filled with...
Okay. A little too strong.
perfection.
How do I fix the nose? There he is. That's him. That is the Hawkeye. Yeah. Okay.
And thanks to the bandit class, I can at least start with a bow, as I kinda have 7 total to get, and while I unfortunately won't be using a katana like the Hawk himself, I can Tua my whole body to be able to do melee with the bow. Kinda like how the best version of Hawkeye did in the Disney XD TV show. This melee allows me to find what I look like after playing Dark Souls 3, and find a nice lady that's the blind to my deaf. But after her very useful instructions, the first thing we're going to need is a sustainable source of arrows, needing to save what I have for base clearing emergency, using my Clint brains to get a quick shortcut to my little makeshift base, so that Clint can start an OnlyFans and fail to do the pursuer cheese. But it still lets me get items that give me just enough money to buy back some stolen property. And become just like Blackrock as I let this man rent my property, as long as he makes me arrows for my quiver. But the next thing that makes me quiver is in a slight moment of fear, as it seems I wasn't the only hero sent to this horrible place, with Hulk's horrendous husk making me feel a lot better about myself. And without any of my trick arrows to help at this moment, I just need to be happy Hulk's brains are even more gone than usual. But in the end, hoping a mercy kill to a coworker doesn't look bad on my Avengers resume. But with this nice set of riches, I can show this lady a more profitable place to stay, while allowing me to get the ring that makes running a little bit easier. As well as an early Titanite pancake for later, as well as getting a ring that tricks my brain into taking more damage. The spare cash allows me to be a good landlord and get arrows, before it's on to the tower's hides of the High Tower, before it's on to Hyde's Tower of Flame. I usually cheese the Dragon Rider, but didn't really consider gravity a worthy bow. Unfortunately, right after I pull it, I thought taking a villain down by their weakness is very superhero, but I can't really unpull this lever. The olive oil has been unvirgined. It ain't going back. So we double down before the Black Knight wannabe gets taken down. Very easily, in fact. I mean, cheese or not, if your weakness is me walking backwards to the right, you might be a bad villain. I mean, there was a close call, but it was Hawkeyeing time, and I hawked all over the place. And did a little jig to celebrate. As well as become more adaptable, or something. Get arrow, and let the blacksmith improve my bow. As well as getting some yummy powder for my drink, something code LB Gamersubs, and enter Worf's Man. No. And with my range and speed, I can ring the bell to book my cruise. Remember, I'm playing the best Souls game in the series.
I was waiting for a cutscene, but I remember Peak doesn't play cutscenes.
Make the mistake of wanting to rush the boss, before remembering I have a weakness to get. And learn that dying is a free action.
Damn it, first death.
And after getting lost, find a nice man from this realm, who's nice enough to sell me trick arrows of Cheese Boss. So when I get to fight a conjoined set of pain and suffering, the 4-piece combo of I'm Better sets the HP bar ablaze, something I only need to do twice, before they get taken down by Hawkeye, not very super villain if it only takes me, the bow guy, along my booked trip to lead me to jail. So I end my trip early to just hit the gym, Get a reminder that I have more bosses to fight, but thanks to my aim,
Did you see? Hawkeye missed.
getting to the next main fight without issue is a cake of peace. That peace normally being garbage. I've been invaded by the Forlorn. But for whatever reason, NPC invaders AI don't really know how bows work, so they won't be getting much screen time. But it's also time to come back to the Lost Bastille, but backwards, and fight the noob stomper known as the Machine Smith. Even without the ballistas, as they ain't really bows.
I wish these ballistas were a bow, but they're not.
The supposed upgrade this realm has given to him means nothing with my really deep tactic being the ability to walk and roll backwards. And even with my ego almost getting in the way, it's so easy, I don't even stop listening to my music to lock in.
I got 2 tickets to Iron Maiden, baby.
And in other words, first try for the books. Before a random hawk leads me to an eye. I don't know, I didn't read the books. So I can get an item to save a nice man. Only after 2 fire people get a little too obsessed with fire. Cost some boom booms for fun, and this nice man I save offers me an upgrade in not only a bow worth a damn, but also arrows not made of only wood. So with my damage improved massively, and body more at the ready, I think the Lost Sinner should be easy enough, but I don't think I need to light the room to make it easier. So after deciding I need to light the room to make it easier, I use my weird branch of Jesus prayer given to me by Matthew Murdoch to open the door of secrets, so I can fight one of my favorite bosses, Marcus King, but 3 times. The pressure the first one gives me forced me to make the mistake of giving up the high ground, become Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, you delayed it. You're such a fucking person that delays your attack like that sometimes.
And after learning this, the first Rune Sentinel copies this strategy.
Not good. Oh my god. Yaman, can you fucking please? Yeah, not him at this point. That's all I'm saying. If you're falling down. 3!
Allowing me to apply the pressure needed to slowly take the other 2 out, mostly thanks to all of them dropping their shields, meaning they have no chance of defense for my volley of bullshit. So with the reward of the head pats and progress, I get more ready for my actual tussle with the Lost Sinner, before I noticed I forgot to give the Lost Sinner an equivalent name to a Marvel character. I hastily just call her after Pagan, before debating if it's even a good idea to name characters with my mediocre knowledge, but we push that feeling down, just like Hawkeye pushes the feeling of doubt down, as even with being outmatched against this sword, with his ability to die and come back, he's more and more able to learn her moveset and attacks, and make the journey home much more possible.
I hate weather. I didn't know whether the weather would weather. Lost Sinner, more like dead.
We can light a prime bonfire, allow us to rest, check the fit, and grit our teeth as I normally kill this lady for the key, but can't as Hawkeye wouldn't, and with a random conversation to guide my journey.
You tell me you wouldn't show your wife your butthole? Okay. Whatever you say, Hank Hill. Bobby, you're not supposed to show your butthole to your wife. The butthole is a sacred place for only you and Jesus.
My bow makes this journey easier than the first time I lied as a child.
I have made a mistake. Oh, I've made a big mistake, but this is Dark Souls 2, so I can fix my mistakes. Yes.
For it's time to take on the Taskmaster wannabes. The main trouble doesn't come from these thrill-seeking bone bags, it's the bone bags that arrive when they get taken out, as you kinda need AoE to deal with them, but hey, after focusing really hard on walking backwards, they get grinded into dust. Fake you out with thinking I'm going to Poison Spot, to instead go to the Shaded Woods. Get to relive my favorite moment from the funny animation.
Is this the +2? They're easy and they do a lot of damage, fuck.
Before I use my power of prayer to save someone who I end up killing, which allows me to get a key to save friend who now owes me one. But if I want what they got, I must head right down the road, having to fight that abdomen too, before showing my rust.
I rolled too early.
But feeling bad for me, the Scorpion then shows her own rust. And with her getting more stuck than my 5-year-old self on the final boss of Battle for the Bikini Bottom,
There we go.
I can take out the Scorpioness. Scorpioness? Scorpioness. That sounds wrong. making my way through the door of Pharos to fight a very bad boy. A dog with little dogs that bite my ankles like I'm a toddler. And these sick little bastards can give me poison premium. So I try and separate these mutts from the bad parent, but the moveset is a bit too foreign for my hawkless brain. You need to start by bringing the pups to the big bathtub in the sky, and with them out of the way, play close to confuse the big dog, who no one ever goes off for upon its life being taken like everyone does for Sif. So it's back to the stone place, use my shots to release my balls of doom, before meeting the congregation and its magus. That was easy. Wait, don't I have that button somewhere? No, I don't. I have a nut button. So with a proper reward in tow,
Yeah, I totally deserve a Titanite slab for doing that. I agree, game.
we can easily make our way to meet our friend who's a bird. So that hawk and crow.
Damn it. I don't even get the fucking bonfire is supposed to be right there, so I run all the way back.
So after denying my bow its purpose, we take out someone who wishes he was me. I can not only get my much needed upgrade, but also fire arrows. Before realizing that Gwen Stacy might have bitten off more than she can chew with venom, I soon find out that I might be the one who's biting off too much.
I'm gonna die with my big old butthole, it's gonna die with it. Oh, that's
And just in case you think I'm like at all good at this game, here's a little montage of me trying to recreate this role you've witnessed.
I'm for it to do the exact same move it's done. Hiya! Good thing I have a billion life gems too. Oh, I die, I die, I don't die, I don't die. I don't die, I don't die.
Did you see? Hawkeye missed.
So with this Cenobite Deadabite, and since I've been a good boy, I allow myself the treat of leveling up on my new bow.
Okay. I love Dark Souls 2. Holy shit, I already have a +10 weapon.
Before getting the strength needed to wield it, and heading back to the poison place. The place that isn't allowed to be hard thanks to my quick wit, and by that I mean giving enemies boo-boos from a safe distance. Pink Pearl thinks she's a boss fight. She isn't. Before it's on to making the next boss fight easier by clearing my way to this thing and burning it, which somehow makes the fight with the Princess Python a bit easier. Not that it needs to be, I mean weak defenses and long-winded attacks that are quite easy to be taken care of. And since I've had my fun, it's time for my pain. Iron Keep, a place that needs a stock up of poison, a place of lava and pain, and a boss who's all the same. One you kinda need to stay close to with combos, follow-ups. The only reason I'm able to even take it out is due to its poison weakness. But mark, this is good news. As getting my head concave, I'm reminded of the pursuer who responds when the fireman passes away, and gives me a ring that ups my physical damage, making my bow just that much more effective. And this new burst of damage and poo-poo arrows help make this so-called king into a callback.
Old Iron King, more like garbage.
And so with that one out of the way, and the bonfire lit, you only have the gutter to venture through, which leads to Poison Place 2. I try and rush to the boss before learning it was a bad idea. My first real try gets cut short due to walking into the danger, but thanks to range, not thanks to janky grabs, and thanks again to fire arrows, the blob who doesn't deserve to be a great soul aids in my need to press on. So now with weird guy in my area, talking about how doing research is important or something, I can make my way quickly to another optional fight, that being a lot of the Thing wannabes. They all attack together, but I always find my way around said attacks.
Okay, this is peak. This is a peak boss fight. I am playing peak.
And with each one going down, the 1v1 does not go crazy. Before it's Shaded Woods to Dragon Castle time. The castle being a pretty good point of being almost there, traveling through to find out there's a Black Knight and Taskmaster trying to copy me, but not only have I fought this boss once, with the addition of poison, it can't really be an issue. So I traverse, contribute to the economy, find a key and a totally real chest, before it's time to fight Peak. Moves that definitely make me feel insignificant in every way possible, before they summon a friend, who honestly doesn't help at all, and with poison damage carrying me like it has from the start.
That's looking glass night for the books, baby. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah!
Shrine of Amana wasn't as bad as always, even trying to kill every enemy on my way to the boss fight, before I get a little penisy. And in anger, just pass everything like all Souls tubers do in this water-filled prison. Speaking of water, just like the real-life animal Oshawott is based off of, did you know that otters live in water? Or rather, water being a big part of their lives, as all of the 13 different species vary from how much of their time is spent in the water, such as sea otters being considered fully aquatic, spending most if not all of their time in the water, while river otters are only semi-aquatic, with their homes actually still being on land. One thing that is the same between them is how intelligent our fellow mammals are. They are not only creative on the same level as dolphins, but are smart enough to use rocks as tools to open up the various things in their diet, such as crabs, mussels, and clams. And while thankfully most otters aren't in any danger of extinction, the giant otter, marine otter, southern river otter, and hairy-nosed otter are classified as endangered on the species list. So please, if you'd like to donate what you can to help, visit the World Wildlife Fund to help in the efforts against poaching. And just to be 100% transparent, this is not a sponsor. This is a bit Mr. Mancakes normally does in each of his videos, and I kinda wanted to give it a try for our little collab. And hopefully, some little animal cookie should help with that massive level of brain rot you're dealing with. Before it's Semen of Dong. Also, very easy. It doesn't really get close, gets poisoned, but at least it's another easy one for the books. Finding a safe place filled with dead animals. Nope. Finding a safe place filled with dead people. But also semi-dead friends, who will happily give me arrows of dark damage. Dealing with an area mostly meant for those not melee intolerant. But after a quick run around,
Look me in my eyes and tell me that.
we human up and get ready to fight the man Thor wishes he could be. But with his slow attacks, something poison, close call, blah blah blah, Bowman come out on top.
First try. Another first try for the books.
Rah.
Dragonheart didn't like that. Dragonheart didn't like that.
Before finding the man who summoned me to finish what he started. He's also kind of powerful, even though his brain no work. And if I'm gonna mercy kill him, as well as doing his job, but for real, I first need to fight a not needed to kill boss.
I just wanted the soul.
Because an easy boss to poison is always fine by me,
Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
and giving me a chance to melee. So we can move forward to the place of the dragons.
Look, it's lore accurate man cakes. Wow, I'm gonna leave him be. I don't want to hurt him.
And not the dragons of D's, no, I'm talking the not so bona fide wyverns. A fun fight, mostly for an archer who likes to stand back, and with poison being like butter on a Pop-Tart.
It's so frickin' good.
Find out my friend is a little too into dragons, and like the nice friend I am, I get the dragon's number, and it gives me something that should help with the big dead one. And to not be a bad wingman and a decent hero, don't kill the dragon that's actually being helpful, as I see no reason for Hawkeye to harm an ally. This harm lets me slightly travel back to the past, and after finding out that no head, we can do bad things to the not last giant. We can take him down, and go around to collect every other giant soul that doesn't involve hurting the innocent. And holding these souls makes Fendrick's defenses less and less. His moveset is very basic, which means it also packs a pretty big punch. I normally don't like to speed up shots, but the fight was basically back up, fire, roll, back up, fire, roll. But at least it's over. So after time 2 with double the tears, before going to the DLCs, I want to clear what I can of the base game. The Dark Lurker, however, put up some challenges, as when they became 2, I became dead. And with the run back as terrible as it was, I decided to do my favorite thing in Dark Souls 2, and save this for later, and make progress somewhere else.
Eat your heart out, Dark Souls 3.
So I go to tackle the DLC, accidentally starting in the wrong order.
The what?
But after death by invisible bullshit, I suddenly find myself in the correct DLC. Getting to play fun childhood games with the enemy, so I can place a key item,
A Dragonstone in inventory. Okay, my fault.
only after I get it,
Oh. I get it. I don't get it.
and these childhood games make sense, as the lady pulling the strings, as the person in voice chat calls her, is Alana of the Squid Games.
Alright, you need glasses or something, man. I don't know. Alana of the Squid Game.
The first half of the fight is incredibly simple, but as she summons 4 backup dancers for battle,
Oh, I think I've made a mistake.
I semi-fall into a weird defensive state, until I find a few openings, and as someone playing these DLCs for the first time, beat Alana on my first attempt. Before the real challenge is the Dragon of Sin right behind her. And once again, Dragon chose the wrong person to fight. As someone who can get in cheap shots, with it either flying, breathing out that unwashed green aura, or simply landing, hitting it is incredibly easy. The silly little guy also gets sent back to Dragon God, same attempt shipping. The Gang Squad was actually the boss that gave me the most issues for this DLC, due to me kinda just being, and I quote, bad. But soon enough, it's DLC 2 time. And since it's my first time, most of these areas are, unknown to me. Finding the bosses was kinda difficult, and also running into Smelter Demon Butt Blue first wasn't something that made me too happy. So instead I fight something more fun, by pegging each weird arm monster, which lets me fight the Fume Knight. A fight I was actually enjoying. Its upgraded form kept me on my toes,
But mostly because of the eating part. Oh, I got hit by a ball on the outside. I didn't know it was doing a ball attack.
but the archer lifestyle leaves this knight about as dead as most knights fighting archers. Going back after to deal with the demon. I'm a demon of my fucking time apparently, and after getting on my nerves enough, it finds itself dead. And with one last boss to fight, I find out why numbers are important, and also find out why katanas are actually cool. Sir Alon has spins that make you dizzy, fast moves that don't make you dizzy, and pokes that spike your blood pressure. So it's break time. Time to get the rest of the bows I need to finish the Clint arsenal, that being every bow that doesn't have some weird element side damage. So that being the sea bow,
T-bow! Let's fucking go, BB. Not even close.
Bellkeeper bow,
I think these guys can drop stuff, so I mean, I guess I could just fight these guys, but I don't know if the other one has more guys. Oh, never mind, Bellkeeper bow.
and my last upgrade I was saving, the Hunter's bow, needing to refocus on myself, or something, and going right back to find out, yes, I do more damage, but if you think I'm ready for this fight, then call me Gordon Ramsay, because you're an idiot sandwich. So we put that on hold, and instead get a pair of eyes, and can now see the Cat of Pain in the frozen land. And while it gives me a hand, very much as if on brand, the damage I do before my death was about the same as when I couldn't see it. The main part is realizing you're fighting a kitty cat. It's gonna pounce, throw up and ruin the carpet, and leave you with scratch marks that make people worry about you. But the bonus is you're fighting a cat. Its weakness is known to be its underbelly. If you stay near its backside and roll under it, it just makes it want to run away and gives so much time to finish it off, and gives you that much needed time to take care of it.
I think it's Undertale. I think it's a fucking dead cat that I just neutered though, so that's good. I can go buy arrows and shit.
So after going to buy arrows and shit, we become Hawkeye, the saver of Ivory Knights, only 3 for whatever reason. But this lets Hawkeye's Avengers assemble and pose before my White Knights and I fight the, not White Knights, and let us take on the last challenge, the Ivory King versus Hawkeye and friend. Having a buddy for this fight was actually a lot of help.
No. Steve. Steve, don't do it. Don't die for me, Steve.
And it kind of healed my old soul a little bit.
Alright, Steve, now is the time to die for me. Steve, please! You're all I have left! Don't do that, Steve! Don't give me hope! Steve!
But after I shortly meet the same fate. It's back to drawn out fight, Steve dies, and we re-meet in heaven but for failures. But I soon got an attempt where I hold aggro for as long as possible, without taking unneeded hits. And Steve and I managed to drop his bar. And while he's not with me till the end of the line,
Steve.
with his help, it pushes me to take it on. In his honor.
For Steve! Steve almost made it with me to the end, man. I'm so fucking upset. Steve was there for 3/4 of his fucking health bar.
And with this final DLC happy with me, it's back to the Dark Lurker with me. The break not helping as much as I was hoping, But slowly I play safe as an archer should, making sure one of them are doing range attacks while the other is doing melee, getting them separated, and with them finally falling, covered head to toe like a porcupine, I rejoice. Yeah, fucking baby, that's why we don't give up, that's why we don't surrender, that was for 9/11! And while I really didn't want to finish Sir Elan, with some sort of excuse being he's just an innocent guy or something, but I told Steve about this issue of my life, so I must solve it for him. Oh. So with every evil creature and problem taken down, the last issue is not only this pro PvP god, I am the best PvPer in Dark Souls 2 to ever exist. But we have a final trio to take down. The Throne Watcher and Defender, while backing each other up, also leave each other open for counterattacks. And this Jack Skeleton wannabe does weak hits close range and easy moves to dodge long range. So with that victory achieved, it's time for the last problem to be solved. Aldia. Are these guys summoning it? Does he stop me from... Nope, I just take the seat of get back to the world of my... Okay. And it turns out I messed up Aldia's questline. I guess cue some awful MCU end credit scene of Aldia being very angry before the writers don't know how to bring him back or what to do with him. But we at least prove semi-easily that yes, you can obviously beat you can obviously beat Dark Souls 2 as Hawkeye. Thank you all so much for watching and try your support however you see fit. And also a big thank you to Mr. Mancakes for reaching out for this collaboration. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to watch his side of the collab. And not as always, you don't even walk like a challenge runner, you glide like a cake on ice.
It's over. He knows.
Wow.